So since tapos na tayo sa 3 modes of heat transfer, conduction, convection, and radiation, pupunta na tayo ngayon sa application ng heat transfer, which is the heat exchangers. Okay, so a heat exchanger is a device used for heat transfer between two fluids. So we have several examples. One is evaporator. So sa evaporator, heat is being transferred from the food to the refrigerant, kung sa refrigeration application. Then meron din tayong boiler. So sa boiler, heat is being transferred from the hot gases due to combustion to the water. Kaya nagiging steam yung water paglabas ng boiler. Then meron tayong condenser. So heat is being transferred from the hot fluid sa loob ng condensing tubes to the cooling water outside the condensing tubes. Then meron din tayong radiator. So yung heat transfers from the hot fluid sa loob ng tube palabas dun sa air around the radiator. So these are some examples of heat exchangers. Now punta naman tayo sa types. So meron tayong bare tube type. From the name itself, puro tubes lang. Then meron tayong shell and tube type. One example is yung mga condensers ng power plant. Then meron din tayong fin tube type. So para mas maging efficient yung heat transfer, yung bare tube nilalagyan ng fins. Just like yung radiators ng mga sasakyan. Then meron naman tayong plate and tube type na heat exchanger. One example is yung evaporator ng isang household refrigerator. Okay, so even though we have several types of heat exchangers, iisa lang yung kanilang purpose, and that is to carry out heat transfer between the two fluids. So now, tingnan naman natin yung cross-section ng isang shell and tube type na heat exchanger. Meron tayong dalawang sides, the tube side and the shell side. So yung isang fluid, papasok dito sa tube inlet, then dadaan sa tubes, palabas dun sa tube outlet. Then yung other fluid, papasok sa shell inlet, dadaan sa shell, palabas dun sa shell outlet. Okay, so take note na yung fluid sa shell side is actually in contact with the tubes, which is why magkakaroon talaga ng heat transfer as a result. Then ilagyan natin ng baffles dun sa shell side para magkaroon ng pattern yung flow ng fluid sa loob ng shell. Then another purpose ng baffles is that mas magiging efficient yung heat transfer between the two fluids. Okay, so medyo nagka-idea na tayo sa kung anong nangyayari sa loob ng isang heat exchanger. Now, punta naman tayo sa two types of flows. So, meron tayong dalawa, and one is the parallel flow. So, kung titingnan natin yung schematic, as you observe na yung direction of flow ng dalawang fluids are the same. So, they are flowing at the same direction. So, meron tayong hot fluid, then sa other tube is the cold fluid. Now, kung titingnan naman natin yung graph ng kanilang flow, so ito yung sa hot fluid, then yung nasa ilalim is yung cold fluid. So again, the same direction nila. Then yung hot fluid enters the heat exchanger at a high temperature. Then since meron siyang heat exchange with the cold fluid, lalabas siya at a lower temperature. So the same thing sa cold fluid, papasok siya ng heat exchanger at a low temperature, then tataas paglabas, since meron siyang heat transfer with the hot fluid. Okay, so again, kapag parallel flow, the same yung direction ng flow ng hot sa kanang cold fluid. Then yung other type naman ng flow is what we call the counter flow. So kabaliktaran siya ng parallel flow. Opposite naman yung direction ng dalawang fluid. So kung makikita natin, yung hot fluid going to the right, while yung cold fluid naman is going to the left. Okay, so dito, yung entry point naman ng hot fluid is dito sa left side, while yung entry point ng cold fluid is dito sa right side. Kasi nga, magkabaliktad na yung direction ng flow nila. So opposite na. Though ganun pa rin, yung hot fluid enters at a high temperature, then lalabas at a lower temperature. Yung cold fluid naman, papasok at a low temperature, then lalabas at a higher temperature. Okay, so na-review na natin yung basic ideas about heat exchangers. Pwede na tayong mag-proceed sa calculation ng heat transfer. Okay, so yung heat transfer between the two fluids in a heat exchanger is given by this formula. Q is equal to U, then times A sub O, then times LMTD. Okay, so ganun pa rin. Q is the rate of heat transfer. U is the overall heat transfer coefficient. A sub O is the tube's total outside surface area. So again, kapag sinabi nating tube's area, kapag heat transfer, we are referring to the tube's surface area. So do not misinterpret it as the cross-sectional area. So kapag surface area, ang formula is pi times the tube's diameter, then times the length. So that is the circumference ng tube times the length of the tube. Then yung LMTD naman is the logarithmic mean temperature difference. Okay, so sa design problems kapag heat exchanger, ang usual na pinapahanap is the total surface area required for the tube. So para malaman natin yung total surface area, we have to know first yung rate of heat transfer between the two fluids. So kailangan ma-identify muna natin yung Q. Then kailangan alam din natin ang overall heat transfer coefficient. So depende yan sa pipe material. Usually, given na yan sa problem. Pero if not, meron tayong formula. So makikita lang natin later. Then kailangan alam din natin yung target na logarithmic mean temperature difference. Okay, so meron tayo nito later. Okay? Take note na sa isang heat exchanger, yung Q ng fluid 1 is equal to Q ng fluid 2. Or that is, the heat rejected by the fluid 1 is equal to the heat absorbed by the fluid 2. Assuming na walang heat losses. Okay, so yung Q ng fluid 1, we can use the fundamental equation for the heat sa ating thermodynamics. So, di ba? MC delta T. So, that is mass flow rate ng fluid 1 times yung specific heat ng fluid 1, then times yung change in temperature ng fluid 1. And that should be equal to the mass ng fluid 2, then times the specific heat ng fluid 2, then times yung change of temperature ng fluid 2. So, ibig sabihin pala, yung heat transfer na rate, pwedeng Q ng fluid 1 or yung Q ng fluid 2. Kasi equal lang naman sila, assuming na walang heat losses. Okay, so punta tayo ngayon sa overall heat transfer coefficient. It is actually the reciprocal of the total thermal resistance ng pipe, including yung fluid inside and outside the pipe. Okay, so usually, given ito sa problem, pero if not, you can use the following formulas. Okay, so if tube is new, you can use this formula. So again, reciprocal ng thermal resistance yung overall heat transfer coefficient. Now, since yung material natin is a tube, maa-apply natin yung na-review kanina for the heat transfer across a pipe. Okay, so yung total resistance is equal to 1 over the inside surface area ng pipe, then times yung inside film coefficient. Or that is the film coefficient of the fluid sa loob ng pipe. Then plus yung thermal resistance ng pipe material. Okay, so Ln, the outer diameter divided by the inside diameter. Divided by 2 pi, then times the thermal conductivity, then times the length of the pipe. Okay, then plus the thermal resistance ng fluid outside the pipe, that is 1 over the outer surface area, then times the outside film coefficient. So that is if the tube is new. Now if the tube is old, merong mga fouling substance na namumuo sa inside surface and the outer surface ng tube, which is caused by the impurities ng mga fluid na dumadaan sa tube. Okay, so if we let F as the fouling factor, which is supposedly given sa problem, yung magiging formula natin for the overall heat transfer coefficient is 1 over U is equal to the total thermal resistance, including yung fouling factor. So actually, the same formula lang sa taas, pero dinagdagan natin ng fouling factor inside divided by the inner surface area. Then, plus fouling factor outside divided by the outer surface area ng tube. Okay, so again, yung overall heat transfer coefficient is usually given sa problem. Pero if not, you can use these following formulas. So kapag walang fouling factor na given sa problem, ibig sabihin, it is assumed sa problem that the tube is new. Okay, so let's have the logarithmic mean temperature difference or the LMTD. So, examine natin sa parallel flow. Review lang, kapag sinabing parallel flow, dapat yung flow ng dalawang fluids are in the same direction. Okay, so before natin ma-determine yung LMTD, we have to identify first yung mga entrance saka mga exit temperatures ng dalawang fluids. So, for the hot fluid, let natin na TIH be the inlet temperature. Then, TOH be the exit temperature or the outlet temperature. For the cold fluid naman, let natin na TIC be the inlet temperature. Then let natin na TOC be the outlet or the exit temperature. So, kailangan ma-identify din natin yung mga terminal temperature difference. So, meron tayong dalawang terminal temperature difference. So, let natin na delta T1 be the terminal temperature difference between the inlet temperatures ng hot saka ng cold fluid. Then, let natin na delta T2 be the terminal temperature difference between the exit temperature ng dalawang fluids. Okay, so magagamit natin yan in calculating the LMTD. So, yung delta T1 is TIH minus TIC. Then, yung delta T2 naman is TOH minus TOC. Then, yung formula natin for LMTD, that is delta T1 minus delta T2 all over ln delta T1 over delta T2. Okay, so pwede yan silang mag-interchange actually, pero dapat consistent. Kung nauna yung delta T1 sa numerator, dapat mauna rin ang delta T1 sa denominator. Then kapag nauna naman ang delta T2, dapat mauna rin ang delta T2 sa denominator. So magiging delta T2 minus delta T1 over ln delta T2 over delta T1. So para hindi maging negative ang LMTD. Okay, how about sa counterflow? So actually, the same formula lang, pero nagkaiba lang sa delta T1 saka sa delta T2 or sa terminal temperature difference. So kung babalikan natin ang parallel flow, yung delta T1 natin is inlet temperature minus inlet temperature. Then yung delta T2 is the outlet temperature minus outlet temperature. Kasi nga, the same yung direction ng flow ng dalawang fluids. So dito naman sa counterflow, since opposite yung direction nila, yung delta T1 natin is magiging outlet temperature ng hotter fluid minus the inlet temperature ng cooler fluid. Then yung delta T2 is magiging inlet temperature ng hotter fluid minus the outlet temperature of the colder fluid. So pwede rin naman natin baliktarin, hindi naman magmamatter. Pwedeng yung delta T1 is inlet ng hotter minus outer ng cooler, or delta T2 is yung outlet ng hotter minus yung inlet ng cooler. Okay, so yung LMTD is ganun pa rin. Delta T1 minus delta T2 divided by ln of delta T1 over delta T2. Now let us observe what will happen kapag nag-equal yung terminal temperature differences. So, if yung delta T1 is nag-equal sa delta T2. So, merong mga cases na ganon. Ang mangyayari sa numerator is delta T1 minus delta T2 is magiging 0 kasi nga equal yung dalawa. Then sa denominator, ln of delta T1 over delta T2, since equal silang dalawa, magiging ln of 1, which is also equal to 0. So yung LMTD natin is magiging 0 over 0. So hindi pwede yan. So anong mangyayari kapag nag-equal yung dalawang terminal temperature difference? So if that is the case, LMTD is just equal to either of the two. So pwedeng delta T1 or delta T2. You can actually prove it using calculus by the theory of limits. Kasi nga nagkaroon tayo ng indeterminate form sa LMTD kapag nag-equal yung delta T1 and delta T2. Okay, so that's it for the logarithmic mean temperature difference sa parallel flow and counter flow. Then meron tayong another type of flow actually, which is the cross flow, just like in the radiators. So yung direction ng isang fluid is perpendicular to the direction of the other fluid. Pero sa calculation ng log mean temperature difference, it is just assumed to be counter flow. Okay, so again, in calculating the LMTD of a cross flow, it is just the same as calculating the LMTD of a counter flow type na heat exchanger. Okay, so we're through with the logarithmic mean temperature difference. So meron tayong another type actually of temperature difference, which is called as the arithmetic mean temperature difference. Okay, so sa design problems involving heat exchangers, ang usual talaga na ginagamit is the logarithmic mean temperature difference or LMTD. But there are problems which will require you to use arithmetic mean temperature difference. So para makuha natin yung AMTD, just like sa pagkuha ng LMTD, we have to identify first yung mga terminal temperature differences. So both for parallel and counter flow. Then para makuha yung AMTD, just take the average of the terminal temperature differences. So AMTD is equal to delta T1 plus delta T2 all over 2. Okay, so example ng heat exchangers na problem. An economizer receives hot gas. So given yung kanyang specific heat, 1.13 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. And water in the ratio of 1.5 kilogram gas per kilogram water. So actually, ito yung ratio ng mass flow rate ng gas sa yung mass flow rate ng water. So that is mass ng gas over mass ng water is equal to 1.5. The gas enters at 454 degrees Celsius, then leaves at 179 degrees Celsius. The water enters at 48 degrees Celsius. So find the logarithmic mean temperature difference for parallel flow. Okay, so pinapahanap yung LMTD for parallel flow. Then yung final answer is 127.62 degrees Celsius. Okay, so para mas madali, illustrate natin yung problem. So sinabi sa problem na yung flow is parallel. Therefore, yung direction ng pag-flow ng gas sa kanong water should be the same. Okay, so sinabi sa problem na yung gas is entering at 454 degrees Celsius, then leaving at 179 degrees Celsius. Then yung water enters at 48 degrees Celsius, then hindi binigay yung leaving or yung outlet temperature ng water. So let natin yan as X. So diba, para malaman natin yung LMTD, kailangan i-identify muna natin yung mga terminal temperature differences. So we have delta T1 and delta T2. Then hindi natin malalaman yung delta T2 kapag hindi natin alam yung outlet temperature ng water. So, paano natin malalaman yung outlet temperature ng water? So, na-mention ko kanina, if you remember, sa heat exchangers, kapag walang heat losses, yung Q released by the fluid 1 is just equal to the Q absorbed by the fluid 2. So, going back dun sa ating problem, yung Q na nirelease pala nung gas is just equal to the Q absorbed by the water. So, rewrite natin or expand natin, yung Q ng gas is actually yung mass ng gas times yung C or yung specific heat ng gas times the change in temperature ng gas. And that is equal to mass ng water times the specific heat ng water then times yung change in temperature ng water. Okay, so take note, hindi tayo given ng mass ng gas at saka ng mass ng water. Pero, given tayo ng ratio ng mass ng gas to the mass ng water or mg divided by mw. And that is equal to 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 times yung specific heat ng gas which is equal to 1.13 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin then times yung delta T ng gas that is 454 minus 179. And that is equal to yung specific heat ng water. So constant yan. Sa SI, ang value is 4.187 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Then times yung change in temperature ng water. So that is X minus 48 degrees Celsius. So take note, mas malaki yung temperature X or yung leaving temperature ng water. Since yung heat transfer is from gas to water. So mag-a-absorb ng heat yung water, therefore tataas talaga yung temperature. That is why sinulat natin yung delta T ng water as X minus 48. So from this equation, masasolve natin yung outlet temperature ng water which is equal to 159.33 Celsius. Okay, so since kompleto na yung inlet saka yung outlet temperatures ng gas and ng water, pwede na tayong mag-calculate ng kanilang mga terminal temperature differences. So start tayo sa delta T1. So that is 454 minus 48 which is equal to 406 degrees Celsius. Then yung delta T2 naman is actually 179 minus X which is equal to 159.33 Celsius. And yung delta T2 is equal to 19.67 degrees Celsius. Okay, so yung formula ng LMTD, delta T1 minus delta T2 all over ln delta T1 over delta T2. So just plug in sa equation, 406 minus 19.67 all over ln 406 over 19.67. Then, yung logarithmic mean temperature difference natin will be, using your calculator, that is 127.62 degrees Celsius. So, this is yung final answer. Okay, so next, problem number 13. A liquid-to-liquid counterflow heat exchanger is used to heat a cold fluid from 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 310 degrees Fahrenheit. Assuming that the hot fluid enters at 500 degrees Fahrenheit and leaves at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, calculate the logarithmic mean temperature difference for the heat exchanger. Okay, so ang pinapahanap is LMTD pa rin, but take note na counterflow na yung type ng flow. Okay, so counterflow, dapat opposite ang direction ng mga fluid. So, yung hot fluid goes this way, from right to left, while yung cold fluid naman goes this way, from left to right. So, given yung inlet temperature ng hot fluid, that is 500 degrees Fahrenheit. While yung kanyang outlet temperature is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. For the cold fluid naman, yung inlet temperature is 120 Fahrenheit. While yung outlet or yung exit temperature is 310 Fahrenheit. So just like sa previous problem, we have to identify first yung mga terminal temperature differences. So yung delta T1 saka yung delta T2. So start tayo sa delta T1, that is 400 minus 120, which is equal to 280 Fahrenheit. While yung delta T2 naman, that is 500 minus 310, or that is equal to 190 Fahrenheit. Then using the same formula for LMTD, so we have LMTD is equal to delta T1 minus delta T2 over ln of delta T1 over delta T2. Okay, so plug in natin yung mga terminal temperature difference. We have LMTD is equal to 280 minus 190 all over ln of 280 over 190. And using your calculator, you should be able to get the answer. So yung LMTD is 232 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so going back sa problem, yung final answer natin should be letter B. Okay, so last problem, meron tayong problem number 14. What is the logarithmic mean temperature difference in degrees Celsius of a double pipe counterflow heat exchanger? So counterflow pa rin, where a fluid enters at 90 degrees Celsius and exits at 50 degrees Celsius. So this refers to the hotter fluid. Then, inside the inner pipe, another fluid enters at 20 degrees Celsius and exits at 60 degrees Celsius. So ito naman yung cooler fluid. So illustrate natin. So yung hotter fluid daw enters at 90 Celsius, then leaving at 50 Celsius. While yung colder fluid enters at 20 Celsius, then leaves at 60 degrees Celsius. So yung pinapahanap is LMTD pa rin. Now take note na yung type ng flow is counterflow, which is why yung directions ng flows nila should be opposite. Okay, so start tayo sa pagkuha ng terminal temperature differences. So we have delta T1 that is equal to 50 minus 20 Celsius, and that is equal to 30 degrees Celsius. Next, yung delta T2 naman, that is 90 degrees Celsius minus 60 degrees Celsius, and that should be equal to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so if you remember na meron tayong concept kanina, in case mag-equal yung delta T1 sa yung delta T2, so if delta T1 is equal to delta T2, yung LMTD natin is either yung delta T1 or delta T2, since pareho naman sila. So yung final answer natin, LMTD is equal to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's all for our topic na heat transfer. Thank you for watching and God bless everyone.